What's up everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae. Today I'll be sharing with you my December TBR, and also I have an announcement for my memberships, so please stay tuned. And I am back, and also if you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. So like I said before, I'll be sharing with you my December TBR and also more information regarding my memberships. So before I even get into my December TBR, I want to talk about my memberships. So a lot of my members are asking, what is the book for December? And I'm like, well, this is the end, the end of the year, and everybody has a goal that they want to reach. So what I decided was to take December off where everyone can focus on their TBRs for the rest of the year. I know people are wanting to hit certain books they haven't hit yet or read yet. And I know their priority is trying to get onto all the books they want to read before the end of the year is over. So I figured let's not read any book for December. Just focus on your TBRs. And then in the following year, 2023, we're going to be reading a book. And I feel like regarding my memberships, as I now know, like the process and having memberships was so new to me, and I do appreciate all the members that I have so far. And I definitely want to continue because we have had such great discussions, and I definitely want to do more of those for sure. And so in January of 2023, we're going to start with The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. And as you can see, here is the cover of the book, and this is the first book in the War Arts saga. So I felt like, oh, let's start the year on a good book, because y'all know if y'all been in my reading sprints and stuff, and been in Bree's reading sprints, we read a lot of chunky books. So let's start out with the chunky one. I also wanted to pick this book because it's very accessible to everyone. It's on Libby. I haven't checked Hoopla yet, but it's definitely on Libby, so you can always get the audio. Of course, I'm going to have my physical copy, and I've heard a lot of great things about it. And so I want to read the synopsis just to let you know. And I want to do a better job as keeping my members aware of what we're reading each month. And I definitely want to give them a month heads up, so that way they are prepared for that month. So literally in the beginning of January, for example, I would bring up what we'll be reading in February, but I already have a book in mind for February, which I will get to in a minute. So for The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu, it says, an epic fantasy ode to martial arts and magic, the story of a spoiled hero, an exacting grandmaster, and an immortal god king. It says, from the New York Times bestselling author of The Lives of Teo, it has been foretold a child will rise to defeat the eternal Khan, a cruel immortal god king, and save the kingdom. The hero, Jian, who has been raised since birth in luxury and splendor, celebrated before he has won a single battle. But the prophecy was wrong, because when Tashi, the greatest war artist of her generation, arrives to evaluate the prophesied hero, she finds a spoiled brat unprepared to face his destiny. But the only force more powerful than fate is Tashi herself. Possessed by an iron will, a sharp tongue, and an unexpectedly soft heart, Tashi will find a way to forge Jian into a weapon and leader he needs to be in order to fulfill his legend. What follows is a journey more wondrous than any prophecy can foresee. A story of master and student, assassin and revolutionary, of fallen gods and broken prophecies, and of a war between kingdoms and love and friendship between deadly rivals. So I thought this would be a good book to start out with in January, and I've been hearing great things about it, and I just personally want to get into it. So that will be, for my members, that's going to be the first book that I'll be reading. So in January of 2023, we're going to be reading The War of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. So go ahead and get started. Look up, get Libby together, get her together. Make sure you got The War Prophecy on deck for January. Or if you want to just get a copy, you can do that as well. And then in February, Black History Month. So of course we're going to be reading Black authors. So I decided to go ahead and pick up what I thought would be a great read. And I haven't read it yet. I heard great things about this book and I want to read it. And that is Night Crawling, a novel by Layla Motley. This is Oprah's book club pick that came out earlier this year, maybe a few months ago. And I thought we could read this for February in particular. So for this book, it says, a dazzling novel about a young Black woman who walks the streets of Oakland, a debut that announces a blazingly original voice. It says Kiara and her brother Marcus are scraping by in an East Oakland apartment complex optimistically called the Regal High. Both have dropped out of high school, their family fractured by death in prison. But while Marcus clings to his dream of rap stardom, Kiara hunts for work to pay the rent, which has more than doubled, and to keep the 9-year-old boy next door, abandoned by his mother, safe and fed. One night, what begins as a drunken misunderstanding with a stranger turns into a job Kiara never imagined, wanting but now desperately needs: night crawling. Her world breaks open even further when her name surfaces in an investigation that exposes her as a key witness in a massive scandal within the Oakland Police Department. Rich with raw beauty, electrifying intensity, and piercing vulnerability, Night Crawling marks the stunning arrival of a voice unlike any we have heard before. So this will be our pick for February. So we have The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu, which is going to be our book that we're going to be reading in January. And then in February, we got The Night Crawling, a novel by Layla Motley. So I don't know, maybe I'll give you a month or 2 months in advance. But as you can see, I have 2 books already chosen for January and February of 2023. So I just wanted to give y'all a little update, and I wanted to let my members know that we are taking December off. I want you all to just focus on your TBRs. Like, December is a crazy month, I feel like, for all of us, whether it's work or if you're doing seasonal jobs or you're just busy, you're spending time with family, which is, you know, I want you all to enjoy that time. And I want to enjoy that time too. So we're not going to be reading nothing in December. I made up my mind. We're reading nothing in December, but starting next year, get ready, because it's going to be a hell of a ride. I'm really excited to continue on reading these books with you. And of course, they're all going to be by BIPOC authors, because I do and love to support BIPOC authors because they don't get the representation and the exposure that they need. So there's that. So like I said, The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu for January of 2023, and February of 2023 is Night Crawling by Layla Motley. So those are the 2 books. Get ready, get Libby ready, do what y'all got to do. But yeah, I'm giving y'all a good amount of a heads up. So what we're going to be reading in January and February. So without further ado, now let's get started with my December TBR. And I cannot believe that it's December. Like, when this video is up, it's going to be December 1st. And it's crazy. I felt like this year has gone by so quickly. And it's just me meeting new people in the book community, and getting closer to some people I know in the book community has been a wild ride and a fun ride for me. And I definitely want to continue on with those friendships and stuff and do more and stuff like that. And also there'll be announcements from Bree and I regarding another read along. But in December, I got some books I'm going to be reading. So the first book that I'm going to be reading is We Deserve Monuments. This is by Jas Hammonds. This book came out November 29th. So it's already out, and you can already go ahead and pick up your copy, you know? But this is so good. And well, I haven't read it yet, but it looks good. And so for the synopsis, which I'm excited to share with you, it says, "What's more important, knowing the truth or keeping the peace?" When her family moves to Bardell, Georgia, on the cusp of her senior year, Avery Anderson is uprooted from DC and thrust into the hostile home of her terminally ill grandmother, Mama Letty. The tension between Avery's mom and Mama Letty makes for a frosty arrival and reveals a decades-old conflict they refuse to talk about. Every time Avery tries to look deeper, she's turned away, leaving her desperate to unearth the secrets that divide her family. While tempers flare at home, Avery finds friendship in unexpected places, with Simone Cole, her captivating next-door neighbor, and Jade Oliver, a member of the town's most prominent family, whose mother's murder remains unsolved. As the 3 girls grow closer and Avery and Simone's friendship blossoms into romance, the sharp-edged opinions of their small southern town begin to hint at something insidious, underneath. Avery soon discovers her family's roots are deeply entwined with Bardell's racist past. With Mama Letty's health dwindling every day, Avery must decide if digging for the truth is worth toppling the delicate relationship she's built, or if some things are better left buried. So I'm really excited to read this, and it has queer rep in it. So I don't really hear anybody talking about this book, but I'm gonna let y'all know that after I read this, I'm gonna be doing a review. Like, I haven't done a lot of individual reviews, especially in November, and I love doing individual reviews, especially from when it comes to BIPOC authors as well. So definitely look out in December for a review for We Deserve Monument. So this is one of the books that I'll be reading in December. The next book, which is Bree and I have been doing Brandon Sanderson read along. This is the final month. And so what we're going to be reading in December, one of the books, is The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson. This book just came out last month. I had to wait a little while because I wanted to get the UK edition to go with my other UK editions. So I had to, fly over the pond to the US. So of course it's a UK cover, so I got this in the UK, but I've got it from Book Depository, free shipping, so I had to take advantage of the free shipping. So we're going to be reading The Lost Metal. This is the third book in the Wax and Wayne series, Mistborn Heir 2, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really anxious. Like, it wasn't I didn't really love Wax and Wayne that much, but who knows, maybe this book will give me a run for my money. So for the synopsis for this one, it says, returns to #1 New York Times bestseller Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn world of Scadrial as its second era, which began with the Alloy of Law, comes to its earth-shattering conclusion in The Lost Metal. So this is the last book, y'all. This is, for years, frontier lawman turned big city senator Waxilium Landrian has hunted the shadowy organization, the Set, with his late uncle and his sister among their leaders, since they started kidnapping people with the power of allomancy in their bloodlines. When Detective Mary C. Combs and her partner Wayne find stockpiled weapons bound for the outer city of Bilming, this opens a new lead. Conflict between the capital, Ellendale, and the outer cities only favors the Set, and their tendrils now reach the Ellendale Senate, whose corruption Wax and his wife, Steris, have sought to expose, and Bilming is even more entangled. Sounds interesting. It says, after Wax discovers a new type of explosive that can unleash unprecedented destruction and realizes that the Set must already have it, an immortal Khandra serving Scadrial's god, Harmony, reveals that Bilming has fallen under the influence of another god, Trell, worshipped by the Set, and Trell isn't the only factor at play from the larger Cosmere. Marcy is recruited by off-worlders with strange abilities who claim their goal is to protect Scadrial at any cost. Wax must choose whether to sit aside his rocky relationship with God and once again become the sword that Harmony has groomed him to be. If no one steps forward to be the hero Scadrial needs, the planet and its millions of people will come to a sudden and calamitous ruin. So this does sound really good, and it sounds like a really good conclusion to Mistborn Era 2. And from my understanding, there might be a Mistborn Era 3, possibly. I think, I don't know. I have to rewatch Brandon Sanderson's interviews and stuff on his channel, and also his updates on his IG. But yes, so to finish out the year with Brandon Sanderson for this year-long Brandon Sanderson read-along, we're going to be reading The Lost Metal. So this is another book. The next one is a manga, which I've been loving. This is volume 3, and that is A Galaxy Next Door by Guido Amikuri. So this is the third volume. I'm really excited. And this is when they meet the parents, or he meets the parents, which it says, on the outside, Ichiro and Sayuri are the perfect couple with a comfortable, blossoming relationship that seems to be heading towards marriage. In reality, they are hindered by a mysterious engagement pact, which has the power to inflict one-sided retribution upon Ichiro whenever Sayuri feels upset. Having caught wind of the situation, Sayuri's parents show up out of the blue to confront them, determined to separate the couple and bring their daughter back to the island. Ichiro and Sayuri will have to stand together to brave her parents' disapproval. Although, could this finally mean a solution to annulling the pact? Who knows? So, yeah, I read the first 2 volumes, and I gotta read the third one. And I gotta say thank you so much to Ashley from the Bookish Realm who recommended this. I'm gonna stick to this to the very end. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading a manga. Next one, which you'll definitely be getting a book review for me because I am part of a book tour, and I'll be reading this month, and that is The Blood Debts by Terry J. Benton Walker. Yes. This book, I think it's going to be coming out in April of next year. I could be wrong. The date is right here. But yeah, I'm really excited. On the back it says, "Justice will reign, a deadly tale of sacrifice and betrayal in a magical modern day New Orleans." I'm excited. It says 30 years after the greatest magical massacre in their city's history, the rightful heirs of a stolen throne set out to right the wrongs in their family's past and bring about the justice they're owed. Ooh, this sounds intense. But yeah, I cannot wait. And then look all the blurbs. It says, "A Conjuring of Magnificence," and that's said by Nick Stone. "A masterful debut by Yana Gray." It says, "Blood Debt Sings with Hope and Rage" by TJ Klune. It says, "Terry J. Benton Walker Will Have You Breathless" by Chloe Gong. And another blurb is "An Author to Watch" by Roseanne A. Brown. So yeah, you'll be getting a book review from me. So there's going to be at least maybe two to three book reviews from me in December. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for this book review because it's going to get crazy. Next one that I'm going to be doing a book review for, which I wanted to do in November, but November got crazy and hectic, and Thanksgiving, and just spending time with family, which is not a bad thing. I really love to spend time with my family, and I definitely will be doing more of that in December as well. So with a lot of birthdays coming up, so I'm excited. So the next book that I'll be reading and doing a book review for, which is going to be the third book review that you'll be getting from me in December, is Other Side of the Tracks by Charity Elise. I was trying to read this in November, but couldn't, and I want to read this now, and I'm really excited. And it says on the back, "Bayside, Hamilton, two racially segregated towns bisected by train tracks, and only one rule: never cross to the other side, ever or else." It sounds intense. So it says, "Zach Whitman, a Philly native new to the all-white town of Bayside, doesn't care about the rules, no matter the stakes. He's bent on uncovering the truth behind what his new neighbors dismiss. Like why the home of the first Black family to live in Bayside is in charred ruins, and why no one ever talks about Hamilton. After discovering his favorite jazz musician owns a record shop in the all-Black town, Zach, who has dreams of being a famous music producer, crosses the forbidden tracks, unveiling age-old truths along the way and flinging himself directly into the path of Capri Collins. Capri and her brother, Justin, are contending with high stakes of their own. Their town is cursed, and all who move away from Hamilton meet a deadly fate. Still, the siblings vow to say goodbye to the socially and economically repressed Hamilton for good after graduation. Capri to dance on Broadway, and Justin to play college ball while setting up a future for his pregnant girlfriend. When sparks between Zach and Capri catch fire, the two pursue their dreams together, even if it means defying both Justin and the unspoken laws that govern their two towns. But one night changes everything. A Bayside police officer shoots his gun, spilling Black blood on the white side of town. And now the long-standing feud between the two towns becomes an all-out war. And Capri, Justin, and Zach are about to find themselves right in the middle of it. So this sounds really intense, but I'm really here for it, and I'm excited to see what happens. So I'll be reading this as well. And like I said, there's going to be a book review. So like I said, 2 to 3 book reviews. So that's the third book review. That's about it. The next book that I'll be reading, which I'm excited for, I was trying to read this last month, but didn't get to it. And this book came out last month as well. And that is Bloodmarked, Book 2 in the Legendborn Cycle by Tracy Deonn. I've heard a lot of things about this book. Some people have mixed feelings. Some people just absolutely loved it. I loved Legendborn, and I'm looking forward to reading Bloodmarked. I'm not even going to read the synopsis for this, but I'm really excited to read this in December. It's one of my anticipated reads of 2022, so I definitely want to read it. You may or may not get a book review from me, but we shall see. We shall see. Now, the last big chunky book that Brie and I are going to be reading for Brandon Sanderson by Brandon Sanderson for the Brandon Sanderson read along, which is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series. And that is Rhythm of War, book 4, right here. Look how chunky this one is. I'm not sure if it's as chunky as Oathbringer, but I think it's about the same. Yep, 1,000. Nope, it keeps going. It's 1,219 pages, which is a few more pages. Nope, it's about the same amount as Oathbringer. So here it is, the 4th book, and we're going to end this read along on a good note, y'all. We're probably even going to have a nice little party probably in January regarding the Brandon Sanderson read along, because it's been a long journey, but it's been a fun journey as well. And we've like Bree and I have been wanting to read Brandon Sanderson for a while. And you know, honestly, Bree is the one that had this idea because she really wanted to read this. I wanted to read it too, but I was really intimidated by Brandon Sanderson. And now that I have read his books and stuff, I'm not intimidated anymore. And I really love this journey of reading Brandon Sanderson all year long this year. So yeah, the last chunky book that we're going to be reading together by Brandon Sanderson is Rhythm of War. And as you all know, he has a secret project, which was revealed a couple weeks ago. So there's going to be, you know, Stormlight Archives is not over yet. It is not over. There's many more books to come. I think the last book may come out, I don't even know, somewhere in my 30s. That's all I know. I don't know. But the Cosmere world has been a remarkable fun time. And I've enjoyed this read along. I've enjoyed it. For those that weren't able to keep up, that is perfectly fine. We're still going to have a party though. So even if you read some of his books, one book by him or whatever, we're going to have a party, y'all. So get ready. But yeah, so like I said, we're going to be reading this book in December. And so for this one, it says the eagerly awaited sequel to the New York Times bestselling Oathbringer from epic fantasy author Brandon Sanderson. It says, after forming a coalition of human resistance against the enemy invasion, Dalinar Kholin and his Knights Radiant have spent a year fighting a protracted, brutal war. Neither side has gained an advantage, and the threat of a betrayal by Dalinar's crafty ally, Taravangian, looms over every strategic move. Now, as new technological discoveries by Navani Kholin's scholars begin to change the face of the war, the enemy prepares a bold and dangerous operation. The arms race that follows will challenge the very core of the Radiant ideals and potentially reveal the secrets of the ancient tower that was once the heart of their strength. At the same time that Kaladin Stormblessed must come to grips with his changing role within the Knights Radiant, his Windrunners face their own problem. As more and more deadly enemy fused awaken to wage war, no more honor spren are willing to bond with humans to increase the number of Radiants. Adolin and Shallan must lead the coalition's envoy to the honor spren stronghold of lasting integrity and either convince the spren to join the cause against the evil god Odium or personally face the storm of failure. So yeah, like Oathbringer, like all the books has hit me hard, and Oathbringer, man, that scene alone was crazy and epic. So I'm really excited to see what else happens in this book. But like I said, this ain't Stormlight Archives. It ain't over. This isn't the last book. So, you know, we gotta wait. But knowing more about Hoid and stuff, like I'm glad that there's gonna be a book strictly about Hoid, which is one of the secret projects books that'll be coming out next year. So I'm literally looking forward to that. But yeah, we're gonna be reading Rhythm of War, y'all. Lastly, I'm going to be reading, I guess you could say it's a comic, and I've been wanting to finish, or not technically not over, but I've been wanting to read Saga, and I read the first 2 books, and then I want to read the 3rd book, which is right here, and I'm looking forward to reading that. And of course, after I read this, I'm going to be reading this one, which recently came out a couple months ago, and this is volume 10. Yep, volume 10. So I'm really looking forward to reading both of these, and just end it on a good note. End the year on a good note of reading Saga and getting caught up, because I've heard nothing but great things about Saga, and I'm like, okay, I need to catch up. So I really just reading Saga and getting to know about Hazel and her family and stuff like that. It's been amazing. Been an amazing experience and journey. But that is it. Those are all the books that I do plan on reading in December. And once again, I shared with you all regarding my members, and just to let you know, I do have a membership. If y'all do want to be a member, you can just go on my page. It'll say join, and there's different options, which I have Origins and Ray Bearers. Even if you're Origin or Ray Bearer, you're still going to have that time where you'll be able to join the live with me or the discussion. So either way, but yeah, that is about it. I shared with my members the first 2 books I'll be reading in 2023. So in January, we have The Art of Prophecy, and February, we have Nightcrawling. And I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up. If I don't wrap it up, I'm gonna just keep on rambling, and I don't want to do that to y'all. But thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, everyone, and please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.